Now let's continue. Now today's topic is evaporation. The change of water into water vapors is called evaporation. Evaporation takes place at all times. You might have seen your mother spreading out clothes to dry in the sun. They will dry in the same time on a cloudy day. No, will they dry in the same time on a cloudy day? Water. What is evaporation? Evaporation is the change of water into water vapor. Okay, evaporation takes place at all the times. Due to evaporation, the clothes dry in the sun. Do you know, will they dry in the same time on the cloudy day as they dry on a sunny day? No, it will take more time to them to dry on a cloudy day. Okay. The heat of the sun causes the water of the wet clothes to turn into water vapor. On a cloudy day, the heat of the sun is felt less and thus the clothes take a long time to dry. If the air is dry, evaporation is faster. When the exposed surface is large, evaporation is faster. High wind speeds also help in evaporation of water. The heat of the sun causes the water of the wet clothes to turn into vapor. But on a cloudy day, the heat of the sun is very less, so that the clothes will take long time to dry compared to the sunny day. If the air is dry, evaporation is faster. When the exposed surface is long, then also evaporation is faster. High wind speed is there, then also evaporation is faster. Okay. When the wind speed is very high, it also helps in evaporation of water. Now next topic is transpiration. Loss of water from plants in the form of water vapors is called transpiration. A large amount of water is given out from the leaves of plants. Water vapors from transpiration also helps in formation of clouds. What is transpiration? Loss of water from the plants in the form of water vapor. It is called transpiration. In this transpiration, a large amount of water is given out from the leaves of the plant. Okay. Water vapor from transpiration also helps in the formation of the clouds. Formation of clouds. The heat of the sun evaporates the water from water bodies like oceans, sea, rivers, lakes, etc. and converts it into water vapors. This water vapor combines with dust particle present in the air to form cloud. These clouds are carried from one place to another by wind. When the temperature and pressure conditions are changed, the water vapors of clouds again condenses to form water. How the clouds are formed? The water bodies like oceans, sea, rivers, lakes, etc. their water evaporates, okay, and this converts their water into water vapor. This water vapor combines with the dust particle in the air and they form the clouds. These clouds are carried from one place to another by wind. When the temperature and pressure conditions are changed, then the water vapor of the clouds again condense to form water. Okay? Means when the temperature is low, when due to what is condensation? Changing of water vapor into water on cooling is called condensation. So where the temperature decreases, these water vapor changes into water and thus it forms rain. Now precipitation. When the water vapor of clouds condenses and fall down to the earth as rain, it is called precipitation. If precipitation remains in the liquid from till it reaches the earth, we call it rain. If the water drops remain hard while falling, we call it snow. If the size of the solid water particles is larger, we call it hailstorm. Okay. What is precipitation? When the water vapor of the clouds condenses and fall down to the earth as rain. This is called precipitation. Okay. This precipitation remains in the liquid form till it reaches the earth. Means the water reaches the earth. The water of the clouds, it reaches the earth. We call it rain. If the water drops remain hard while falling, we call it snow. If the size of the solid water particles are larger, we call it hailstorm. Okay. Now, sources of water. Nature has provided us with many sources of water. Almost 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Most of this water is salty and cannot be used for drinking or other activities. Water from the seas, oceans, and a few lakes is salty or saline. Have you heard of Dead Sea? Fresh water can be obtained only from water bodies present on land like rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, waterfalls, etc. 90% of fresh water exists on ice caps on mountains and glaciers. Groundwater can also be used for drinking. Rainwater is the purest form of water. Sources of water can also be divided into surface water and groundwater. Now, what are the sources of water? Our nature has provided us with many sources of water. 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Most of this water is salty. It cannot be used for drinking and other activities. This type of water, which we get from seas, oceans, and few lakes, which is salty, it is also called saline. Okay. Fresh water can be obtained only from the water bodies which are present on land. Like we can obtain fresh water from rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, waterfalls, etc. 90% of fresh water exists in ice caps on mountains and glacier. Groundwater can also be used for drinking, and rainwater is the purest form of water. So the sources of water can be divided into surface water and groundwater. Okay. Now see, groundwater is present a few meters below the surface of the earth. The level of groundwater is called water table. Water columns deep below the earth are generally connected to each other and contain water which has passed through the soil and is free of impurities. Groundwater, it is present below the surface of the earth. The level of the groundwater, it is called water table. Okay. Now the water columns deep below the earth. See, this is the underground water. Water column deep below the earth, these are connected to each other and contain water which has passed through the soil in the form and is free of impurities. Okay. This groundwater is free of impurities because it has passed through the soil and it has filtered. Okay, children. This much for today's class. Till then, stay safe, stay at home, keep on learning. Thank you, children.